Even with Lady Gaga, Joker 2 will struggle at the box office. No kidding, Variety, or anywhere else that's writing that headline. Joker 2 is set to fail big, a flop in the making that I've been talking about for nearly 2 months, and even with a lot of the fake rumors, being revealed to, not be true, such as the literal bomb in the actual movie, the ending still is going to be very divisive. And with the actual action, it really does remove the agency of this character and is nothing more than a veneer of a Joker on top of what was just going to be a regular movie. And that's not my words. Those are actually the words of the creator and director of this particular film. It was all a scam. And now the second film is designed to own the incels. And that's exactly what all of the critics are saying. This is not going to be a good film, and it's not going to be a well-received film, and it's not going to be a profitable film. But let's jump into the story. We're going to start first with that Variety story so that we can see what the actual professionals over at Penske Media's lapdog paper actually say. Even with Lady Gaga, Joker 2 will struggle to match 2019's Joker in the box office debut. Well, I'm going to tell you right now, it's going to struggle to make $500 million, but we'll get to that in a minute. Joker became an improbable box office smash and cultural juggernaut, although the critics didn't like it, and everybody was warning you against going to it, despite the fact that the only violence that occurred in the few weeks surrounding the original Joker film was something that happened at a Frozen 2 film screening. Not Joker. The R-rated crime drama was based on a ubiquitous Batman villain, but this take on the clown prince of crime was darker and more disturbing than your average comic book adaptation, more akin to Martin Scorsese's Taxi Driver, of which it was based on, and then the actual anti-hero adventure, The Suicide Squad, which this in no way resembled. Not sure why that's in there as a comparative, but hey, I didn't write the article. It was directed by Todd Phillips and starred Joaquin Phoenix as Joker. It beat the odds on a $55 million budget and beat a path to the bank with $1.07 billion. And up until very recently, it was the most successful, most profitable, and largest box office in R-rated history. Of course, that was surpassed by Deadpool and Wolverine this year, and that's likely not to be surpassed anytime the rest of my lifetime. Yet the second film, Joker Folie, Deux, which opens in theaters on Friday, which means you can see it on Thursday, may not get the last laugh. No, it's not. It's actually tracking to collect about 50 to 65 million, according to Variety, which I don't agree with. I think it's going to track far, far less. Why? Well, because updated just a few hours later, and 8 hours ago, or 9 hours at this point, Screen Rant comes out with this. Folie Deux opening box office projected to be lower than 2019's Joker. You're correct. It's going to be somewhere closer to 50 million would be my guess. And it goes through all the falderall of the previous article. But when we get down to the most important paragraph, which is the second one, according to Deadline, Joker Folie Deux is projected to open with 55 to 60 million at the domestic box office, down from the previous 3-week tracking of 70 million plus, which I think was pie in the sky. 2019's film opened to a massive 96.2 million just in the domestic market, whereas the worldwide projection for this, Joker 2, is only 140 million. Not anything very substantial. And this is the month for this film to come out. It was perfect. It was the deadest month out there, and there really isn't any Halloween picks to compete with at this very moment. So this was an open runway, and one that they will not be able to land a plane on. This will be a flop. It'll be a failure, and it will be an insurmountable hill to climb, at least to compete with the first movie. Once again, we go to the experts. The expert, to be fair, over at Box Office Theory, because Sean Robbins has made it an art form of projecting what films will do. And if you look here at this chart, you have a projection between 48 and 68 million, which I think is a pretty big spread for Sean, but I don't think it's going to open anywhere close to that. If the high end is 68 million, I imagine this will open somewhere near 50 to 55. That'll be about all. Nobody's really hyped for this film. Early ticket sales are practically non-existent. And again, even without any competition whatsoever, this may still struggle to get to first place. Well, probably not. It'll probably be first domestically. Might even be first in the globe. But that's not saying much, considering that the box office has struggled to get across the $100 million number over the weekends in the last couple. And that's a bad sign for theater owners and for Hollywood as well. On the high end, for its entire run, this film is only projected to earn $122 million, and that's the entire domestic forecast. The global forecast is equally disappointing, and again, I will say this film will not make $500 million, which is very sad, because it won't make a profit. With a budget of $200 million, this thing has massive cost overruns and obviously a lot of front-side money for Todd Phillips and probably the two stars. Why you went out and got Lady Gaga is inexplicable to me, and why you decided to make a jukebox musical out of a more serious, gritty, down-to-earth story is beyond me. But this will likely find its way into the Hall of Fame of flops in the coming days. And I won't be surprised. Hopefully you're not either. At the end of the day, this is a film I have to see. Whether or not I'm going to enjoy it or not is actually unimportant. I rarely get to enjoy films these days, and when I do, I let you know about them. I tell you to go and see them. This is not one that I expect. I will review in a way that will inspire you to see it. I don't think anybody else will either. Knowing the mixed responses coming out of the Venice Film Festival has already informed many people's opinions. I will go in with an open mind, but in looking at a 68% Rotten Tomatoes score already, and perhaps a little bit lower as this video is released, I think this movie will embarrass itself in consideration of the previous film. And I think it will also harm Todd Phillips' career. Joaquin is probably in a good situation to pretty much play any part he wants for a paycheck, and Lady Gaga isn't exactly suffering for jobs to do. The question is now, is Joker officially off the table for a while as far as comic book fodder goes? Well, we have to wait a period of time before we see him in Matt Reeves' Batman, or perhaps even James Gunn's DC Universe. Only time will tell, but I think, despite the film's ending, that Joker 2 has well and truly killed Joker. Let me know your thoughts on whether or not Joker will be successful at the box office, and whether you think I'm correct about the $500 million threshold and the fact that I think there's no way it crosses it. Again, let me know your thoughts. Be sure to hit the like button. Be sure to share the video out there. And leave me any comment that you'd like about, well, the Joker 2, because I'm interested to hear them. On that note, be sure to take care of yourself, take care of others, and until next time, see ya.